You know, in the wild world of Web3, fortunes can pop up and disappear in the blink of an eye. This isn't just about code and computers. This is a real survival story. It's about how one community decided to fight back against digital pirates with, believe it or not, the most boring weapon imaginable, just plain hard work. This story really shows you the true cost of building a new digital world, and it all starts with a simple, pretty powerful promise.
The dream of Web 3. I mean, it sounds amazing, right? The National Institute of Standards and Technology basically says it's a future where we, you and me, the users, finally get control of our own data. An internet that's about ownership, not about giant companies tracking our every move. Sounds like a brand new day, doesn't it? But like with any new frontier, there are always new dangers lurking just around the corner.
And those dangers? Oh, they are very, very real. Just look at this number. $50 million. That's how much value in digital stuff was stolen from just one community when it was getting started. The promise of Web3 slammed right into the wall of human greed, and the price tag was just staggering.
So, what is this new digital frontier really? Well, Web3 is a massive shift in how the internet is supposed to work. But you gotta think of it like the Wild West. Yeah, it's full of opportunity, but it's also unpredictable, totally untamed, and you better believe there are bandits hiding behind every digital rock.
The big difference is actually pretty simple, but it changes everything. Right now, in Web 2.0, our data is owned by companies. You know, your social media profiles, your search history, it's all sitting on their servers. Web 3 just completely flips that script. The whole idea is that you hold the keys to your own digital kingdom. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. All that ownership comes with a heavy, heavy price. All of a sudden, you are your own bank. Your private key is like a super secret password to your entire digital life, and there's no way to recover it. If you lose it, there's no forgot password button, no customer service you can call. Your stuff is just poof, gone. That's the scary part of true digital ownership. This new reality hit one community especially hard. A group that, because they were so successful and their assets were so valuable, basically painted a giant target on their own backs. I'm talking about the Bored Ape Yacht Club. As they just exploded in popularity, having a Bored Ape NFT became this huge status symbol. I mean, some are selling for hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. So for scammers, this wasn't just some online club. It was, as one person put it, the holy grail of exploits. The potential payday for a single successful scam was just enormous. And the attackers, they used every single trick in the book. It wasn't about some genius-level coding. It was about tricking people. They sent phishing links that looked totally official, they used social engineering to make you trust them, and they even cooked up malicious smart contracts. That's just a bit of code that runs automatically. And it's all designed to get you to sign away your most valuable assets with just one click. Here's what that actually looks like. You get a message. It seems legit. It creates this sense of panic. Urgent security alert, or claim your exclusive reward now. It tells you to connect your digital wallet to fix something or get something cool. But the second you hit that approve button, it's over. You've just handed the thieves the keys to your vault. But as the attacks piled up, something pretty amazing started to happen. Instead of running scared, the community got organized. A grassroots security team rose up from inside the group to defend their own, and they called themselves Boring Security. Their mission was simple, but it was so important. Protect everyone by teaching everyone. They were funded by something called the Apecoin DAO. Think of it as the community's own democratically run treasury. So Boring Security was a solution created by the users for the users. They were the ones putting out security alerts and this trying to help people in a world with no safety net. But this makes you wonder, right? I mean, we all know we're supposed to use strong passwords and not click on weird links. So why do these scams keep working? Why is it so hard to teach people about security? Well, it turns out this is not a Web3 problem, it's a human problem. This quote actually comes from an executive at a massive food company, talking about their own internal cybersecurity training. And their conclusion? People just weren't listening because, well, the lessons were boring. The message was going out, but it wasn't sinking in. And that right there is the core of the problem. You can't just dump a bunch of facts on people and expect them to remember. It's something our producer, Soroush Ziaei, is always stressing. If you want people to really understand something complex and actually change how they act, you have to make it engaging. Boring Security got that, and their name was this clever little inside joke about the very problem they were trying to fix. But just when Boring Security was really finding its footing, a total bombshell dropped. The entire foundation that was funding them, this grand experiment in community government, was about to get unplugged.
To really get how big of a deal this was, you have to remember what the Apecoin DAO was. It was a decentralized autonomous organization. Basically, anyone who held the community's crypto token could propose ideas and vote on how the group's money was spent. It was radical, it was democratic, and it put all the power right in the hands of the community itself.
But in reality, it got messy. The CEO of Yuga Labs, the company that created the Bored Apes, dropped this absolutely brutal assessment. He said the whole experiment had devolved into sluggish, noisy, and often unserious governance theater. The democratic dream had turned into a bureaucratic mess. So they announced a great reset. The plan was to shut down the chaotic, community-run DAO and replace it with a new company called Apeco, a professional, corporate-style group with a clear strategic focus. The era of wild experimentation was officially over. And for groups like Boring Security, that meant their future was suddenly and completely up in the air.
So, with their funding about to disappear and the entire power structure changing under their feet, the team at Boring Security had a choice to make. The scammers weren't taking a break, so how could they?
And this is where the story gets really, really good. Because even with all that chaos and uncertainty, all that steady, persistent, boring security work was about to pay off in a huge way.
Okay, so check this out. In December 2023, a trading platform got hacked and a bunch of super valuable Bored Apes were stolen. Immediately, Boring Security jumped into action. They led the whole recovery effort. They actually opened a line of communication with the hacker, and they managed to negotiate the return of the stolen NFTs. It was an incredible win and proved just how vital they were to the community.
But the fight is never really over. And the research from our team, which we have to thank Soroush Ziaei for providing, shows that the threats are always changing. Now we're seeing AI being used to write perfect, super convincing scam emails. Hackers are finding new ways to get around multi-factor authentication, that extra code you get on your phone. The bad guys are just getting faster and more organized.
And all of this brings us to this one massive question that really gets to the heart of the whole Web3 idea. Can a decentralized world really protect itself with community efforts like Boring Security? Or, when it comes right down to it, do you need a central authority, a firm hand, to really keep everyone safe?
So, what do you think? I'd genuinely love to know what your thoughts are down in the comments. And hey, if you found this explainer helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really does help us out. And of course, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive. Thanks so much for watching.